Hi there. We're getting ready to do our craft that went along with our story this morning about Lizzie and Skunk and how her little puppet skunk helped her to be brave, but then she became very brave at the end and helped out Skunk too when he was afraid. So let's look down at all the things that I've brought together here to make this craft. So let me angle this down so you can see what we're doing here. So you see we need a lot of scraps of paper. We got a skunk, so we need black and white. And we thought we'd make a little pink nose, so here's some pink paper. I got circles to draw. So I've got a small circle that I'm going to use the bottom of this cup. A larger circle I'm going to use the bottom of this cup to trace, to make his body and to make his head. And we want to make him to a puppet. So here's a popsicle stick we can glue him to. Our glue. And the tape is good for holding the popsicle down. And then a marker to color in his eyes. So let's get started here. So this is the paper we're going to use to trace our circles. So I'll use this pen that I have here. And we'll draw a circle, and if you have a pencil, it probably will show up a lot better than this pen will. That's for his head. And a circle for his body. So we'll cut out all the pieces to our little skunk first, and then glue him together. So here's the little round head. But just remember, if you don't have anything to trace, you can cut a circle the best you can and use that for his head and for his body. We're very good at cutting circles now. We've been doing it for quite a while. And if you can't use scissors, have an adult that's with you to help you with that. So here's his head, and now here's his body. So we're cutting a larger circle. And it's funny when we start putting this together, it doesn't look like it's going to be a skunk until he gets his stripes. So there's his head and there's his body. And we want to put like a white triangle right here so that, because the skunk has a little white stripe on him. It goes all the way down his tail and down his back. So here we'll take a piece of white paper and cut out a triangle with a little bit of a curve at the top so that it would follow this curve of the circle for his head. So a nice pointy triangle for the stripe that's on his face. Here. So that's what would go right here. And little skunks have two little round ears. So if we take a piece of black construction paper and fold it in half, we can cut out two ears that are just about the same size. So we cut out two little rounded ears. They're not pointed ears, they're two little rounded ears. So there's our rounded ears that we'll put on him. So we'll glue this all together in a minute. He needs a long black tail that we're going to put a white stripe on. So here's our piece of paper. So we can cut out a big, long, almost a rectangle, but we'll have it circly at the end so that it could make look like a little skunk tail. So here we go. So if we go straight up and curve it around like that, and then go straight back down, we can have a tail. And it'd be kind of fun to have two little paws too. So again, we'll take our piece of paper that we still have left and fold it in half again so we can make two paws that are about the same size. So if you cut up, almost like the tail, but a smaller version, to make two little paws. So up and then round and back down. And we have two little paws that we can put here for him. Maybe we like him to wave high, so we can put one up high, wave down hello, and here's his tail that's going to be on there. But before we glue the tail on, we need to put a little white stripe in it. So here is a piece of paper. So if you want, you could actually trace your black tail on here and then cut out the inside of your tracing to make his little white stripe. So it would be a smaller piece inside the tracing that you did of his black tail. So here, this is what it will look like. So if we glue this in here, then we could have the stripe that goes on his tail. And our little skunk is going to have a pink nose. So for his nose, we'll just use a piece of scrap pink paper. And you could use a piece of white paper and then color it if you want, pink or red or whatever color. And so we're making kind of a triangle shape, but that it has rounded corners. Instead of straight, flat, pointy corners, it's going to have a little bit of a rounded corner. There we go. Almost like a kitty cat's nose. So that would go right there. So for eyes, we'll just cut out 2 circles. So again, we'll take a piece of white paper and fold it in half and cut out 2 small circles for his eyes. So Skunks needs little eyes so he can watch and have fun playing with you. And one thing you could do with his eyes before we put them in his head is color in the centers, because mostly they have black eyes. So we'll color in the centers of our eyes before we glue them on. So we make a nice black circle and then color it in with a black. I've seen baby skunks and they have blue eyes. So if you want to make a tiny skunk, or just call yours a baby skunk, you can just use blue for the inside. So here's another circle that we're putting inside of our white circle and then coloring that in. So let's get ready to put our little skunk together. Okay, so the first thing we should do is glue our tail pieces together, his little white stripe onto the black furry tail. So here we go. There we go. And so let's also glue on the little white stripe that goes down his forehead. So we'll put glue all over the back of that and then put it right to the top of our circle. There is perfect. He needs to hear us, so let's put some glue. We could just put it along the bottom edge of his ear and point his little pointy ear, his little ears up at the top. Put a glue along the bottom edge of the ear. That's great. He's looking more and more like a skunk. I got the little pink nose right on my glue stick. It's easy to pick up that way. There is his pink nose. There we go. And let's glue on his eyes. Here's one. We'll put his eyes on here. One on either side of his little stripe on his forehead. And another eye right here. Look at him. So let's also then put glue along the bottom of his little paw to put on, and glue along the bottom of this little paw to put on. And then maybe we can glue his head down. So we take his head, turn it over, put some glue along the bottom part of his head, and glue his head on there. And let's get his tail. So we'll put glue all along the bottom like that and put his tail on. There's our skunk. Look at him. Gosh, that came out so nice. So this little skunk can help us to be brave. So if we turn it over now, and here I have a popsicle stick. It's a colored popsicle stick, but I'm going to put it right here so I can use him as my puppet to help me be brave. So you want to take your tape, and someone can get that off for you if you can't get it off of here, and you can put it on the popsicle stick, or if you have a pencil, you can use a pencil to hold the popsicle stick down. Whatever you need. It's good to put several pieces on. That helps it to stay. Your skunk doesn't go flying off. So look at him. So let's move this. Hi there. Let's move this back up, and here's my little skunk that I can read the story to. If you want to get this book out of the library, you can read the story to your little skunk puppet, and have your little skunk be brave with you. So I hope you enjoyed this craft as much as I enjoyed making it. And I can see you again next week for story time. You take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.